by recording. And also, I've realized that we have some new people here who have joined in as guests, and I would like to say a very big welcome to you all. And I'm very happy to have you on this platform. So this platform is Global Leaders of Change, and we are running a 2-month leadership training that focuses on various competencies that youth can be addressed on so that we can be able to have the right mindset and right skills to actually pursue our dreams or effect change in our community. So for those of you who are joining this platform, is a very, very, very good platform to be, and a place where you will learn, network, and also meet new people. And without much ado, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Madam Ruth. So let me kindly read Madam Ruth Dzokoto's profile. So Ruth is an environmental health officer with a professional certification from the Allied Health Professional Council. And she has, over the years, developed a personal interest and passion in issues regarding climate change because of its effect on the community where she grew up. Ruth has since taken courses relating to this field and also volunteered with many organizations to educate the public and to teach them basic plastic recycling technique. Ruth was part of the first cohort of the 55 female across Africa to undertake True Africa University African Perspective on Climate Change course. She's also the Michelma STEM cohort on School of Climate Change by the Oxford Climate Society. Ruth participated in the Tide Turner Challenge organized by the Junior Achievement Africa and UN Environment Programmer and was adjudged Tide Turner champion. Ruth had her national service at the Kotoka International Airport as a port health officer and formerly worked with the Disease Surveillance Department as a volunteer contact tracer on COVID-19. Currently, Ruth runs a non-governmental organization tackling climate change through education and advocacy, where she mobilizes youth to take action regarding climate change. She also worked with the Ayawaso Central Municipal Assembly as the environmental health officer in charge of waste management. With her special communication and knowledge level on matters regarding climate change and the environment, Ruth has had the opportunity to be engaged by the US Embassy Ghana to commemorate the Earth Day 2022 with the theme that she was given to present on titled Invest in Our Planet. We all have a role to play. So without much ado, I would like to say a very big thank you to Madam Ruth for honoring this invite and also for being on this space. Ruth, we cherish you and it's a privilege for us to have you and we can't wait to learn from you. So please, the floor is yours and I'm glad to have you as my guest. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, or greetings to you all wherever you're watching from. Like our host already said, that is all about me. So today's session, I'm going to be sharing my screen so that we'll have a better perspective of what I'll be talking about. And just sorry, just give me some few minutes. Okay. So today I'm going to be talking about sustainable thinking. And having a little challenge about mine.
I think when you have any challenge, you can share maybe the PDF with me and I can help by regulating it for you. But if you're able to do it, I think that's fine.
Okay, so let me just start from here. So let me share the PDF with you. Oh, sorry for the delay, just a moment. I just want us to have a better perspective of what I'll be talking about. So sorry for the delay.
Yeah, hello everyone. I think Ruth is having a little bit of technical challenge. Yeah, so before she rejoins, I would like to let us get interactive. Okay, so we know of late there's a lot going on climate change. You hear people talking about sustainability, climate change, environment, and we should protect our environment and stuff like that. So then it leads us to sustainability. And as a real estate professional, it's something that is more of like the new normal, where anything that you are doing, they expect you to be sustainable. So I want us to have a quick discussion. What comes into your mind when you hear sustainability, regardless of whatever field you are coming from? You can type your comment in the comment box, or you can just raise up your hand and share your opinion. Sustainability. What comes into your mind when you hear sustainability? And secondly, how do you think it's relevant in our dispensation? So any person can flow. If you don't want to speak, you can also leave your comment for us to read before our guest joins. Please, anyone? It looks like, does it mean, okay, I think,
Okay, so I think you can go to the slideshow session so that it can come out quick.
okay, I'm doing.
So before we start, so this is just a little about me, and it has all been said, and I'm a founder of an organization that tackles climate change through education and advocacy. So in case you want to volunteer with us, you can just contact us through the details on the screen. Yeah, so, okay, so today's topic is sustainable thinking, and I am going to be your facilitator. Please feel free to drop any question that is bothering you concerning this particular topic, and if possible, I'll be able to address all of them. I will try my best to do that. And I want us to also know that sustainable thinking is a broad topic. Sustainability itself is a very broad topic, and then it's not everything that we can talk about, even if we use 1 week, but I will try and put all the necessary points that we need to know here today so that we'll get along with it as time goes on. We'll have a lot more of this session, so we are promised of having some more in-depth knowledge on this topic. So before we continue again, I want you to take a closer look at this picture. Picture is in your mind. It says sustainable thinking. So this is a picture of somebody thinking sustainably. He's thinking about a car with a lab at the top, meaning he's thinking green, like driving cars that are that don't emit carbon dioxide, and fossil fuel free cars. He's thinking of solar energy. He's thinking of bicycles sometimes as a medium of transportation. He's thinking about a tree giving them life and all of that. So we'll go to the next slide. Now, we can't talk about sustainable thinking without the word sustainability. So what is sustainability? Just like the word sustain means, like keeping something for a longer period, okay? Where something is able to last longer. So sustainability means meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. So as today, we are trying to make ends meet. We are trying to generate income for our living. We want to live all the lavish lifestyle and all that. Is it going to have impact? Is it going to have negative effects on the future of our kids or the future generations? Are they also going to be able to have that access that we have today, or our actions are going to deprive them of being able to also achieve their needs? Sustainability basically depends on some principles, some 3 principles. And these principles are environmental, social, and economic. Sometimes we take this to be the environmental to be planet, and then social to be people, and then economic to be profit. Now, when you are, let's take for a business, if you want to have a business as a youth, what are you looking at? Is it going to benefit the environment? Is it going to benefit the people? Is it going to generate income at the end of the day? This is what sustainability literally means. This means that in order to be considered sustainable, please, the previous slide. In order to be considered sustainable, a business must be able to conserve natural resources, support a healthy community and workforce, and earn enough revenue to maintain financial viable for the long term. So basically what I spoke about earlier. So this is the explanation. I try to just put it in a picture form so that you picture it in your mind as we go on. And then we have a broader perspective of it. We have the 3 pillars of sustainability, as I mentioned earlier on: the environmental, the social, and the economic. Now, when you come to the social, the standard of living, is the project you are going to have, all your actions, are they going to have effect on the life of people? Are they going to create job, equal opportunities? Are they going to create job for the people? Or they are just going to, have some short-term impact and that's it? Are they going to have a long-term job opportunities for the people? Now, when you come to the economic, is it going to be profitable, or is it going to be cost involved? And is it going to benefit the country as a whole? Now, when it comes to the environment, is this business going to have some negative impact on the environment, or it's actually going to help the environment? Is it going to conserve energy and all that? Is it going to pollute the environment? If it is, then you have to rethink your decision on that particular business or action you want to take. This next slide. Okay. Now we are back to the main topic, sustainable thinking. Now, sustainable thinking is the capacity to engage effectively with the social, environmental, and economic change and challenges in the contemporary world. We are now in a new era, and then we are not doing things that we used to do before. So if we have to, let's say there is something that we used to do back in the days, we are no more doing it, or we want to add a little add-on to it for people to be able to purchase it or see it as a new development, be innovative or creative about it. Is it going to, we have to take into consideration all these 3 principles before we take it into consideration. Now, this is the definition that L.H. Rowe gave to sustainable thinking, and I always use this whenever I want to do any presentation, because it actually talks about all the 3 possible impacts or principles we need to take when we have to set up a business or we need to take some actions in the society. Ways to think and act sustainably as a youth. I believe this platform is actually a platform that is involved with youth, and like the name, Global Leaders of Change, meaning we are the future leaders and then we want to make changes. What are some of the things that we can do for we to live sustainably? Now, when thinking sustainability, one must reflect on the complex interaction between the natural, economic, the social, the political, and cultural system. So these 3, throughout the sustainable lecture that I'm giving or presentation I'm giving, these 3 principles have occurred throughout: the economic, the social, and the environmental. And then this one is saying that the interaction between these 3 to take effect and our obligations to the future generation, how the choices we make will affect the public good and the well-being of the future generation. This is basically the sustainable thinking. Now, how are these choices we make going to affect the future generation, and what are ways we have to use to keep it having effect on the future generation? So we are looking at ways that as a youth, you can take to live sustainably or think or act sustainably. Is it eco-friendly? What if maybe you are going to shop something? Is it eco-friendly? Is it sustainable? Is it green? or it's just about money. It's just money you want from the business. So you don't care about the environment. You don't care about the impact it brings. All you care about is your money. So the first way we have to take when we talk about sustainable living is thinking twice before shopping. Before you buy something new, ask yourself if you actually need the thing, or consider buying gentle use and look for minimal packaging. You realize that sometimes we go to the market and you buy tomatoes, they give you polythene bag. You buy pepper, they give you polythene bag. You buy ointment and all those things. I mean, groceries, you buy toiletries and all that, they give you polythene bag. Instead of you to reject it, you also take it because you think you are paying for it, so they should give you by the way. But then if you want to think or act sustainably, you would go to that shop with your own bag, and then you refute all those single-use plastics and all that. Some of the times too, we go to the shop and we do impulse buying. You didn't want to buy the thing, this thing, you don't actually need it, but because you've seen it, you want to buy it. And it's end up becoming refuse or garbage in your rooms. Now, the second one we go is go plastic free. You cut down on plastic waste by shopping with reusable bag, which I've spoken about, ditching single-use water bottles and avoiding products made from or packaged in plastic whenever possible. I have personally done have this attitude of going everywhere with my shopping bag and my own water bottle. I mean, I have this bottle that whenever I'm going out, I take along, and I don't have to. Some offices are advantaged to have dispensers, so I don't have to go and be buying the pure water. In a case where your office don't have dispenser and all that, you can actually reduce the use of this thing, this packagings, by packing them into your bag whenever you use them, and then you keep them till you are able to give them to recycled companies to recycle it. Yeah. And then pay attention to labels. Buy organic food whenever possible. We are in an era where, let's say, a season in mango season, okay, and then everybody wants to buy the mango that is very big, the one that looks very ripe and all that, forgetting that not all though, but some of this big mangoes, the agric mangoes and all that, are chemical based. It's chemicals that are used for it, and then we ingest these things, and then later on we find ourselves wanting. So if you want to actually live or act sustainably, you buy the organic foods, you will not mind the size of it or how it looks, you are going to buy it. And then sometimes too, the organic foods are most expensive. But if you are a youth, since we are talking about sustainable thinking, if you want to live sustainably, you take it as investing in your health, and then buy the expensive one instead of going to buy the cheap one that actually would harm your health. And then when we are buying our chemicals, especially with the ladies, when we are going to the pool, we want to use a sunscreen and all that. We should be able to use sunscreen. When you are buying, you check the labels and see if it has this type of chemicals in it. This chemical, oxybenzone, is a chemical that affects the coral reef. Coral reef is an example of coral reef, because I've put under the diagram there, under the topic, and then is in a diagram there. That is an example of a coral reef. It's in the sea, and then whenever we use this sunscreen that have this oxybenzone and all that, they intend going to affect the coral reefs, and they are not able to reproduce, and they prevent them. Sometimes they even kill these coral reefs what coral reef that does is it prevents erosion and all that, or it prevents coastal erosion. So if we are not able to maintain their ecology, and then we use these sunscreens to harm them, they become very vulnerable. So we should check the labels whenever we want to buy all these products. Now, living sustainably, you drive less if you are using a fossil fuel car, or you drive green. That is if you are using an eco-friendly car, which means that car is an electric car. But you bear with me that, especially, I know some of us are watching from different countries, but especially in Ghana, we don't have access to these electric cars. And we are still living on fossil fuel. So what do we do if we want to live sustainably? Now, we drive less. Sometimes, instead of I'm going to the shop near me to go and buy a toffee, I want to drive there. If I'm going to buy pure water, I want to drive there, which all these things are giving us are polluting the environment with the use of the fossil fuel. All these fuels that we use, they emit carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide that are trapped into the atmosphere, preventing the the solar radiation to hit back to the atmosphere. Now, if it's not able to hit back to the atmosphere, it comes back to warm our planet Earth, and then we are found wanting. Then we'll be saying, oh, this today's temperature is so high. Yes, it's because of you and I. We don't want to walk. We always want to drive. Although we are not driving green, we want to drive everywhere. So if you are a youth and you want to live sustainably, then you have to practice the act of walking sometimes, or even using bicycles sometimes. Now, we buy fridges, and then we see this type of labels on them, and we think it's just a label. Some people remove it, and some people also don't care if this is on it or not. Now, when you are going to buy this items like fridge, fan, air condition, and all that, you should check if it's energy efficient. Now, how would you check that? There is a label there, the energy efficient label there that you have to see. Where we are fortunate that nowadays some companies are replacing the old fridges and air conditions with the new ones, so you are able to get the energy efficient one. Sometimes we are going out, instead of conserving energy, we are going out and we leave our fans and our lights on and it's pulling current. As this current goes, it's having effects on the planet, because the more current you use, the more the demand you want. Like, you are demanding more by using more. So if you are not able to use less, you demand more, and then if the production companies are not able to produce more to it, then we have this on and off lights, and we have this term doom. So these are some of the things that cause doom. So if you are using too much appliances in a room or at a space, and these appliances are not energy conserving, you are not living sustainably. So whenever you are going to buy your home appliances, you always check for the energy labels and see if it's energy efficient or not. Be water wise. Skip the bottled water. Conserve water by taking shorter showers, fixing leaky toilets, and choose low flow or low water appliances. I'll take it from our kitchen. Sometimes when we are going to wash our plates, okay, I'm taking this thing to the level we all can understand. So when we get to our kitchen, we are washing bowls and we leave the tap running. We want the tap to, we leave it to overflow, which means that we are not conserving water. It's just like the energy that I described. The more water you use, the more you do, the more you demand for it. So if you are demanding for more, and then the water now, the treatment plants are not able to treat more for you fast, you think, oh, the government is not giving us water, there is such shortage of water, forgetting that your actions have actually made this effect come into reality. Now, we are made to believe that our water that is flowing through our taps are not clean. We know that water doesn't have color, but a typical African will not go to the tap to go and fetch water and drink, because she feels like, especially in Ghana, we feel like the water is turbid or it has color. So if I drink it, it means it has some bacteria in it. And this is what we are made to believe. So we intend buying the water, the sachet water, and intend polluting the environment. So what this point is basically telling us is to conserve water by, when you go to the washroom, brush your teeth, fetch the water in a cup and brush your teeth. Or when you are brushing your teeth, keep the tap off. Don't let it overflow. When you are washing, wash in bulk so that you don't have to be wasting water all the time. When you go to the when you are fixing your washroom toilet, make sure you use the sinks that have that take low water to flush. There are some that you have to use a lot of water, but there are some you have to you can actually use even a cup of water to flush it. So let's if we are thinking sustainably as youth, we need to take into consideration all these things. Green your home, improve your home's energy efficiency. I think I've explained this already, but sometimes there are informations available when you go to the energy supply, the ECG, especially in Ghana, electrical companies. You go there and you check your consumption rate. Okay, they have details of the consumption you are accruing at the end of the month or the day, and then you can take note of your consumption level so that you improve on it, and you'll be able to conserve energy. Now, choose wild energy. If your state allows you to pick your electricity supplier, use a green E-certified company. Explore the option and tax credits for installing solar in your homes. Well, we in this part of the world, green energy is very expensive. When we talk about solar energy, where the sun can give us electricity and all that directly, it's very expensive. But if you have the medium that you can purchase this solar energy, I think it will be best for the environment, and it will sustain you for a long period of time. Take extinction, please, the previous slide. Take extinction off your plate. You have 3 chances a day to reduce your environmental footprint by eating less or no meat. Prevent food waste with smart plant shopping, and consume what you purchase. I'll take it from this angle. When we go out to, probably somebody has taken us out and we want to eat to put the person in debt. Like, I'm talking in terms of us ladies. I'm a lady, so I'll be talking, most of my points are directed at the ladies, but spare me for that. We go to restaurants and our fellow counterpart wants to buy something for us, and we want to damage his pocket by buying more, which we know we can't eat. And if we are not able to eat this food and it end up in the dustbin, what it does is that if it gets rotten and it gets to our landfills, it emits this gas called methane. Okay, when methane gets into the atmosphere, it prevents, it serves as a blanket in the atmosphere, preventing what I explained earlier. It causes global warming, okay? And then we ourselves will start complaining that the atmosphere, the sun today is very high and all that. It is because you have gone to a restaurant and you ate what you bought what you couldn't eat, you left it there, and it ended up in a landfill site. We eat, basically we eat 3 times a day, and if you are able to reduce your meat intake, we know rearing of animals, okay, it comes with a lot of like energy consumption. You have to use water, the lighting system. The process at which animals are reared is very energy consuming, or it's water consuming. So if it has a lot of carbon footprint. So if we are able to eat less meat, there will be less production in the system, and then we'll be able to conserve, prevent climate change or global warming from having effects on our planet. Next slide. Choose to have a smaller family. With more than 7.5 billion people in the world, we are not leaving much room for wildlife. We can achieve an ecological sustainable population in ways that promote human rights and allows plants, animals, and ecosystems to thrive. You agree with me that we are using we are destroying the homes of animals and building our own homes because we are having large families, okay? If like you have smaller families where we don't have to go and destroy the ecology of an animal, or we don't have to go and cut down trees. Let's take this Ashmota forest, for instance, where trees are going to be cut down because of a developmental something that has to happen. Do you think if we have lesser population, will be thinking of having these high constructions in place for to sustain the economy? No. So if we have less families, we'll be able to manage our environmental stuff, and will have positive impacts on the earth. Use your voice and use your vote. Get politically involved in your community and at the national level. Vote for candidates with strong environmental platform, and talk to your friends about wildlife protection and the need to address human population growth and overconsumption. This side, let's say somebody is environmentally conscious and is vying for a position. You as a youth should be interested in that person's policies or objectives. If you are actually thinking sustainably and you wish that we all go sustainable, you have to take into consideration the person that have more policies, that have environmental related policies in it and projects in it, so that you be able to vote for this person to come and give us a platform where we can take this wildlife and all this into consideration when we are making decisions. You can also have organizations as a youth to preach the sustainable agenda to your colleagues. Volunteer with organizations that are into the environmental space or the sustainable space, and then let your voice count. These are some of the things you can do as a youth to make your voice count, or to live sustainable, or to think or act sustainably. I think I have exhausted most of the points, and our time is also limited. So like I said earlier on, sustainability is a whole broad topic on its own, and we can't consume everything today. So I'll leave us here and take some questions if any of us have, and then we'll see how we go about it. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation.
Thank you so much, Ruth. That was an eye-opening presentation. Usually, these are things that we are not being taught. And honestly, I find it very interesting because sometimes we eat too much on the AC and go to work. Some people even do illegal connections, so they don't even care if whether the energy is on or not. It's more of like our attitude towards the environment. And I strongly believe also that there cannot be any, effective, sustainability if we don't change how we see the world. Because if we can see the world as a property that has been given us for us to, sustain and manage, I think certain things that we do, we will stop doing them. So thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. And then we now open the platform for questions. So please, if you have questions, kindly raise up your hands and ask. Okay, Mary, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ruth and Ernest. Please, I think I heard you talking about energy, your aircons and co. Please, how many number of stars do you need to see whether the fridge or whatever you are getting energy saving or whatever? Please.
I didn't get your question. It's in Mary. Mary, I didn't get the
Yes.
question.
Yeah, my question is, I think you brought up a fridge that has 2 stars on it, talking about energy consumption and those things. So I want to ask, how many stars do we need to see on the gadget to know whether it is good or not?
Well, it depends on the gadgets you are using. Okay, it depends on the gadgets you want to use. If what I put up, I think it's some. Just a minute. Let me. It's 170 something liters. So if you need to conserve energy and then you have two stars on it, I think it's a better source than not having any energy star on it at all. Sometimes we have 3 or 4, depending on how you use. Some people to use these things for commercial purposes. So if you are using it for commercial purposes, there are energy levels that you need to see, which won't damage your whatever you are doing. Let's say you are operating, how do we call it? A cold store. You don't have to go for a fridge that will not, you want, because you want it to save so much energy, it will end up destroying your product. So you have to look at what you are using it for to determine what energy level to you decide to save. Sometimes it can be 4, sometimes it can be 2, sometimes 3, depending on the usage.
Okay.
Yes, but I believe this particular question, we can all go and actually look into it, since I also don't have in-depth knowledge on it. I mean, it's not everything that all of us know whenever it comes to these things, but we try our best to learn more. So I think I'll still look into it and give specific answers when next we meet on this platform.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Come, Mary.
Yeah.
Please, any more questions? So there are some comments that are coming in. So Philbert is saying that we can change our perspective of sustainability beginning from our attitude and willingness to change. And he again says that these are some of the courses we need to be taught in our various institutions, but because it is impacting to be part of this platform to learn all this, I'm grateful to learn from the experts. Thank you so much, Philbert, for being here. Please, any more questions?
Yeah, let me talk to Philbert about his comment on the it being in the school. Like I said, you can lead a charge, okay? Philbert, you can lead a charge and volunteer, gather some youth, and come out with something that like in a form of a protest or something. Let the government see that we want this type of a subject or a course in this institution, or that it's a charge you can lead as an individual. It's all part of being a sustainable leader. So you can take the charge and lead on. Yeah.
And that's very, very true. Yeah, so we can all be part of the movement by taking initiative, even in our homes or at our workplace, to live sustainably. Yeah, thank you so much, Philbert, for such a wonderful comment. And also thank you, Ruth, for the perspective being given. Yeah, please, do you have any more questions? Okay. So then if you don't have any more questions, Ruth, please, do you have any last comment to make so that we close the class in terms of sustainability or sustainable thinking?
The only comment I would make is that we should all try to involve ourselves. We should lower our consumption levels in terms of energy. We should be able to use bicycles. Don't feel shy to ride a bicycle sometimes to your workplaces and all that. And don't also feel shy to educate your peer about the sustainable movements. Sometimes we find it difficult talking to our peers because we feel like they'll feel we are too known or all that. It's not too known. It is you impacting into them, you letting them know the right thing. So if you are in a position where you can talk to your friends, kindly do that and let's all push this sustainable agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ruth. This is a very powerful presentation, and Mr. Yao is saying that thank you very much, Ruth, for the sustainable thinking presentation and strategies. So Ruth, we are very, very grateful. We're global leaders of change. This platform, we appreciate our facilitators so much because sharing knowledge is something that is lacking in Africa. So when we have people who are able to share knowledge and give us perspective on how we can better ourselves and improve our community, we deeply appreciate them. And we are one of such people. So thank you so much for making time for us, for sharing knowledge with us, giving us tips, strategies that we can adopt. Like the bicycle, I think I have to go and look for a bicycle. When I was little, I really loved bicycles. Yeah. And I think with the traffic situation, there are certain places that if you have a bicycle, you can quickly ride to those places. And in a way, you are exercising your body as well. So thank you so much. And I really appreciate you. And I really appreciate your time as well. And we will be glad to have you for more sessions. So Ruth, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And also I want to appreciate, okay, there's another question coming in. I think Mr. Yao is asking, please, how can we connect with you? So Ruth, would you mind kindly maybe giving us details of your social media pages that we can?
Okay, so you can get me on all social platforms. I'm trying to type it there. So that's how you find me on all social platforms. When you type Etilasi, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you get me, Etilasi. You find me everywhere on social media.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think our facilitator has posted, so we can kindly follow her on all social media. So Ruth, thank you very much, and we appreciate you. And all the participants who joined and stayed with us to the end, I want to say a very big thank you to you. I know some way, somehow, we have learned something, and we will apply what we've learned in our daily lives to live sustainably. And I've really learned I'll stop eating plenty. I'll only eat the one that my stomach can carry. And so the guys especially, we shouldn't have pot belly. We should eat small. Anyway, that's just by the way. Thank you so much, Ruth, and we appreciate you. Yeah. So without much ado, I'll bring the curtains down by saying to you all that please have a wonderful evening, and please be safe out there. And don't feel that there's no hope in Ghana. You can still make a change. It takes only one person to change history, and you can be part of the history. So please take care of yourself. We need you alive. We need you safe. And we need you impacting. So please do have a wonderful evening and stay blessed. Bye to everyone.